Okay, good. Okay. So today we will continue with chapter 2.2. All right, 2.2. So 2.2 looks at file system, what is done in the operating system. We are going to look at how file systems are done in the operating system. Okay, so we are going to look at the definition of file system, and what are the types of file systems available, and what are the types of file, what are the attributes of file, what is the metadata of a file, and what can the file do, what cannot the file do, how to create a file, and a few more other things. Okay, this is quite a long chapter, so we will try to see as much as we can. Maybe in this class or the next class, we will try to finish it. Okay, all right. So by the end of this class, you should be able to at least understand what is file system. Okay, you should be able to understand what is file system. Okay, so I have, let's just go through the definition of file system. File system is a mechanism for storing, catalog, retrieve, set of file name files, and the directory structure into which they are organized. In modern operating system, where it is possible for several users to access the same file simultaneously, it has become necessary for such features as access control and different forms of file protection to be implemented. Okay, so what does that mean? So what it means in this definition is the operating system, in any operating system, you will have a file system. So a file system is to help the operating system to store the file, to catalog the file, and to provide us as users the ability to retrieve the file. Okay, so not only you are able to store the file, you are able to catalog the file. Store meaning you save the file in a location. Catalog the file, maybe you put the file under a specific folder, and you are able to retrieve the file. That means if you do a search, you are able to find the file. And you put it inside a directory structure. So what does this directory structure mean? The directory structure means, for example, operating system provides a special directory, a special folder for all download files. Meaning, when you download any files from the internet, is automatically kept inside the download folder. If you download any video files, it's automatically put inside the video folder. If you download any picture, it's automatically put inside the picture folder. Okay, so this is how operating system organizes each type of file into specific folder or directory. And then point number 2 below here, the operating system also provides access to certain files, meaning who can access a certain file, who can edit the file, or who can just view the file. Okay, some people or some users can only view, but they cannot change the content, they cannot do anything, they can only view. All right, some people have more than that, they can view and also they can edit the file. Okay, some people, they can view and edit, but for a certain period of time. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, after that, you have no more access. Okay, some people or some users, you can view, edit, and have access to the file for a very long time, ultimate. Okay, that means forever it's there. Or another type of protection is you can only certain people can only view, certain group of people can view the file. Okay, for example, okay, you create a file, you create a file, and you share it to me. Okay, so when you share the file to me, I can only view. Okay, but I cannot edit the file. If you give me access, then I can edit and view the file. Okay, same as the file structure provided by the operating system. Only certain types of user can access or can delete or can edit the file. Oops. All right, so A file system contains files, obviously, it has all files. And what does this file contain? File contains data. Okay, it contains data. And it also contains metadata, or we say as metadata. Metadata is something about the file, which is hidden, meaning you have when was the file created, who can access the file. Okay, this information is what we say as metadata. Metadata is any information regarding a certain type of file. Okay, when is it created, who created the file, or where is the file located. These are all what we say as metadata. And in a file system, we have partitions. Okay, so you have a physical partition and a logical partition. As I explained to you in the previous chapter, what is a physical partition? A physical partition is where the operating system file sits. And then you have a logical partition. A logical partition can be within the hard disk. However, there is no operating system files sitting in it. Okay, or you can have your thumb drive, which is also considered as your logical partition or logical folder, where you can store these files. Okay, certain files you need to store physically, and certain files you can store in the logical in a logical location. Okay, so this is how a typical file system looks like. On the left hand side here, you have the directory which is here and the partition which is below here. Okay, the directory. And as you can see, you have two directories. Okay, so you can call this directory A, and partition B. Each partition will have its own directory structure. Okay, its own directory structure. Okay, in the right hand side, you have directory and you have partition C. This diagram shows you that there is no partition here, although it says these two and these three, but actually these two are combined and you only have one partition, which is called the partition C. And again, inside any partition, you have the directory right on top. Okay, in any partition, you have the directory right on top here. Okay, so next, what is a file? A file is a collection. Can you see this? I'll make it a bit bigger. Okay, a file is a collection of. That means what we want to say is, when you look at a file, okay, when you look at a file, what is inside the file? Okay, so a file is a collection of binary, numeric, or characters inside a file. Okay, a file could be represent a program, a document, or part of the system. Okay, example, how is a file a program? So when you see a file and you see the extension of the file .exe, exe stands for executable, meaning that is a program file. When you double click on this particular file, something will happen. Let's say a new program will open. So that type of file is considered as a program file. Okay, and then you also have a document file. What is a document file? This is very simple. You have your PowerPoint document, you have your Excel document, you have your Microsoft Word document, and so many other documents. That is what we say as a document file. Okay, or in some cases, part of a file system. Part of a file system. If you remember, when you did your programming, Java or C, I'm not sure, when you start compiling, okay, when you compile a file, you will see automatically there will be additional files being created, .io and .java and so many other things. So this collection of files it's a part of a file system. You need to have all of these files so that you can run the Java program. So these type of files are called part of the file system. There are a few types of file which enables you to run the program. Okay, so this is what we say as a part of the file system. Okay, next we also have file, where can this file be stored? You can store it in various media. You can store it in your hard disk. You can store it in your thumb drive. You can store it inside the cloud. Okay. You can even store it inside your CD-ROM. No problem if you have CD-ROM, and so many things. Okay. So what is the job of the operating system? The operating system provides a uniform logical view of the information, meaning with one click in a button, you can open your file explorer. You can see where the particular file is located, in which directory, in which folder. Okay, so operating system also provides the physical properties of the storage devices, meaning how much space is left in that directory. So this is what the operating system can provide. It can show you how many folders are there, or how many disk space is available, how many disk space has been used. So this is part of the responsibility of the operating system inside a particular file system. Okay, and then you can also have files which are the green one here. Files are mapped by the operating system onto physical devices. So what are physical devices? Physical devices is, example, your hard disk. So the operating system can map this file. Map means can create a shortcut. Let's say you have a folder, you have a file in directory D inside your PC. So, and this file is, let's say, a Word document file. So now you can create a shortcut of this file and put this shortcut in your desktop. So when by you clicking the file, automatically the operating system will locate the file inside your D directory and open the file. Okay, so this shortcut is now mapped to the original file, which is in drive D. Okay, so files are able to do that. And then you have all files have a name. All files have a name. This is quite very this is simple, by which they can be accessed by the user. Okay, in modern operating system, model file system, the name consists of three parts. Okay, the unique name. Okay, the unique name, and then you have the unique name, and then period, and then the extension. Okay, something is missing here. Why is this missing? Maybe it's oh yeah. Okay. Okay, so you have the unique name of the file, period, and extension. For example, let me draw here. Testing. This is the unique name, period, dot. Let's say DOCX. This is the extension of the file. Okay, so you have, this is what your files will be stored at this. This is how your files are being stored now. Okay, so this is the modern operating system. You have three parts of the file, which is the unique name of the file. Okay, period, dot, and the extension. For example, testing, unique name, period, 1, and then the extension, .doc. Okay, are you with me? Are you with me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. If you have any questions,
Yes,
please, just answer. Just ask me, no problem. You can stop me at any time you want. Okay, no, you don't have to wait until the end of class. Okay. If you have any questions, you can also type in the chat box. I will reply you now itself. Okay. All right. So what are the attributes of the file? A file needs to have a name. Okay, ini normal lah. All right. This is normal. A file needs to have a name. You cannot have a file without a name. Okay, what is this name? It can be any name. Okay. Identifier is a unique tag number, identifies files within the file system. This one is provided by the operating system. Each file in the operating system has a unique identifier only to be recognized by the operating system. Even though the file name is testing.docx, however, the operating system recognizes this file in a different manner. It gives a unique number. This unique number is only accessible for the operating system, not by the user like you and me. For you and me, we only know the file name as testing.docx. However, the operating system knows this in a different form. Why is that? Because the operating system runs in binary. So it will change the character and it'll give a unique name so that it can locate this file easily later on. Okay. Next, a file also has a type attribute. What type of file? Is it a Word document file? Is it a text file? Is it a PowerPoint file? Is it an executable file .exe? Is it a HTML file? Is it a ASP file? Is it what else? Any other files? Okay, so there are types of file. Okay, we will look into that later. And this file needs to be in a certain location. Pointer to file location on device or operating system will keep track of where this file is located inside your device, inside your PC. Okay, and then the operating system will also keep track of the size of the file. Okay, it will keep track of the size of the file, the size of the folder, the size of directory. Okay, these three things. Operating system will keep track of the size of the file, the size of the folder, and the size of the directory. Three things. And the operating system will also inside your file attribute, you also have the protection attribute, which controls who can read the file, who can write, and who can execute this file. And it will also provide time, date, and user identification. Why is this important? It is to provide protection, security, and usage monitoring. Because we want to know when was the last time I updated the file. Who was the last one updated the file? Okay, when was this file created? Okay, why is this important? Example, let's say for a certain reason, you create a PowerPoint file which has about 50 slides. You save it inside your PC, but when you go home, you do your work on the same PowerPoint file and you increase the slides from 50 to 60 slides. Okay, so now you have the new PowerPoint slides. The one in your office is having the old copy. Okay, so when you open the new file which has 60 slides, you can see when was the latest update, what time was the latest update, who updated the system. Okay, this is very, very important if you have the same file in different location. Okay, in different location, because sometimes you can have the same file in different location. Let's say you go to the computer lab, you use the file, you open the file, you edit. So from 50 slides it becomes 60, but the same file which is sitting in your computer in your house has only 40, 50 slides. Okay, so you have to have the latest copy. So that is why the operating system provides a file attribute which is called the time, date, and user identification. Okay, so which provides protection, security, and user monitoring. So we want to find out who accessed this file last. Okay. Next, what can we do with a file? File operation. We can create a file. Space in the file system must be found for the file. Okay, because if you want to if you want to save a file, you must have enough empty space inside your hard disk. So operating system will do this job for you. Before creating a file, it will check inside your hard disk, inside your location, do you have enough space to create this file. Okay. Next, the file operation has also a write function. Okay, the write function is system call specifying the name of the file and information to be written. System keeps a pointer to the location where the next write is going to take place. So meaning, so let's say you have a file, a Word document file. So you have about 10 pages. Okay. So the next time you open the file, today you save the file, tomorrow you open the file, the operating system knows, okay, now you have 10, you will create another 10 more pages. You want to add information. Okay, so the operating system will keep track of the right function inside the files. Okay. Next, the operating system also allows users to read the file. Read meaning you can search the file. Okay, where do you want to search? How do you want to search? Or you want to locate the file? So the operating system will allow this to happen. Okay, so among types of operation that are allowed by the operating system inside file system. So these are the things that you can do with a file inside the operating system. You can seek the file. Okay, you can locate where is the file, which part. Let's say you stopped at line number 5 in page number 2. So when you reopen the file, the operating system would be able to tell the user, okay, the last time you have stopped at page number 5 in paragraph 3. Okay, operating system allows the users to delete the file, search and delete, truncate the file. Truncate means you erase the content, but you keep the file. Okay, you erase the contents of the file, but you keep the file. Okay, either you can erase everything, or you erase. Let's say you have 10 pages, but now yesterday, but now you only erase about 5 slides. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Next, you can also open the file. Okay. Open the file is as if you double click on the file, so the file opens. Next, also you can also do the close of the file. Okay. So you can open, file open, file close. Okay. So you can open the file, you can close the file. Okay. These are all provided by the operating system. Okay, these are also additional information, additional operation provided by the operating system for file system. You can append the file. Okay, append means you put the information inside the file at the last location. Dalam diagram nampak ni. See, this is the new information, but you append it at the end of the file. And then you can also rename the file. Okay, rename tahu kan? You just rename lah. Okay. And then you can also copy and move the file. Okay. Ini I think you know lah how to do this. Okay. Are you all okay? Kalau okay, you can you type me any message? I want to see whether you are still alive.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. All right, good. Have you all eaten?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Do you all watch Netflix at home? No money. No money, yes. Not much. Partially alive. Stomachache. Really? Okay. Ha ha ha. Yes, sir. Doesn't have Netflix account. Don't worry. I also don't have Netflix account. I pinjam my sister-in-law's account. Don't tell her. I think she forgot. Okay, tapi Netflix pun lama-lama pun boring juga kan. Okay. So these are examples of the files which are available inside your PC most of the time. These are certain examples lah. Kalau you tengok belakang dia .bak, that's a backup file. .c programming, ni GIF, graphical interchange format, G file, hub file, HTML, JPEG, MP3, object file, PDF, PS, text file. Sorry, ini input, this is text file, zip file, and so many other files lah. Okay. Sorry. Some of these files, these are some of questions which normally will come up for your exam. You have to name about, let's say, 5 types of files, so you can name them. Okay. So even if you say Word document, DOCX, PowerPoint, PPTX, or something. Okay. So these are also all types of files. Okay. These are also counted. Okay. Next. How does the operating system access this file? Okay, so file contains information. Information must be accessed and read into the memory for processing. Okay, so let's say a user, you and me, would want to access a file inside the hard disk. Okay, so we tell the operating system, we search the file, and how does the operating system locate the file? There are 2 methods. One is called the sequential access method.
Again, sir?
Sorry, sekejap. Okay. How does the operating system access a file? Okay, how does the operating system access a file? So the operating system will search for a file using 2 methods. One is what we say as the sequential access method. Another one is what we say as a direct access. Okay, so before I move on to the next slide, let me just give you a picture. Sequence means one after another. Okay, one after another. It just goes. You search for number 1. Kalau number 1 tak kena, it moves on to number 2, number 3, and number 4 until it finds the right file. So sequence method is going through the files one by one. Okay. Let's say you're looking for a book, so you have to look from the first shelf to the second shelf to the third shelf. So you have to look for each book until you find the right book. However, in the new operating system, we have a method called direct access, meaning the operating system does not go through each shelf. However, it straight goes to the file and get it. Okay, it straight goes to the file and get it. It's a much more faster way. Okay, so the difference between sequence and access, obviously, sequence is slower and the direct one is much more faster. Okay. So the sequence method is something like this. Have you all seen a tape recorded with what do you call this? A cassette before?
Yes.
Yes.
Zaman you, have you all bought a what do you call it? A cassette before? A tape? Pernah beli tak? Have you all bought this?
Pernah.
Pernah. Okay. Siapa boleh jawab saya soalan ni? What was the first cassette you bought? Music. Lagu apa? Or which singer?
Celine Dion.
Allah. Rashid or Siti Nurhaliza.
Muse, unintended.
Awi, Nasyid. Dah lama sangat tak ingat. Oh, itu lagu baru Muse, unintended. Who? Mahir Zain, Allahu Akbar. Ada, Mahir Zain bukannya, Mahir Zain, isn't he a new singer? Ada kaset dia lagi Okay. Siti Nurhaliza lama lah. New Singer. Ya, New Singer tapi ada kaset ke? I thought by the time Mahizin keluar dah tak ada kaset dah. Okay, never mind. So I see most of you have bought kaset. So tak adalah saya tua sangat. Anyway, balik kepada cerita kita. So, the cassette in this cassette lah, or tape, some people call it, I call it cassette, some people call it a tape record, tape, okay? Some people call it a tape, okay? You have to go through one by one, the sequence, you have to go through one by one song until you find the right song, okay? So you cannot just jump to, let's say you have 10 songs, you cannot just jump to song number 10. You have to go through song number 1, song number 2, song number 3, song number 4, and so on and so on. Okay, that is how you work in a cassette sequence. Okay, so the sequential file access is also the same. It accesses one after another until it locates the file that it needs. Okay, all right. So the sequential file access, the device must be read or moved through all information up to the point it is attempting to read or write to. Okay, so it has to go through one by one until it finds it. Okay, last point. Although this method is very simple in operation and ideally suited in certain tasks such as playing media, it is very inefficient for more complex tasks such as database management. Why do they say this? Because database management, you need the files very fast. For example, let's say you are at the ATM machine taking out money. Okay, in order for you to take out money, first the system has to check if you have enough money. Okay, first it has to verify your account number, your name, your everything else, but it has to go through one by one. Okay, if it goes through one by one, sampai bila lah, susah lah you nak keluarkan duit because it goes through one after another, check, takes a long time. So untuk database, we do not use this anymore. So why are you learning this sequential file access? Because in the olden days of operating system, they used to use sequential file access. Okay, they put it in a tape and they use this. Okay, random access, or what we say is a direct access, is much more simpler. You straight access the file anytime, anywhere. Okay, it's much more faster. If you are locating file number 3, straight go to file number 3. If you're locating file number 5, straight go to number 5, and so on and so forth. Okay, so sequential versus direct access, this is how you look at it. It reads next, write next, meaning read the next one and then write the next one. It goes on by one after another until it comes to the end. Okay, but as you can see, direct access, you read n. N is the relative block number, meaning let's say you're looking for location number 5, so read n, which is read 5. If you want to write to the location number 5, so it is write n or write 5. Okay, or if you are looking for position to n, read next, meaning you will go on to the next file, meaning you just put in the n value and automatically the operating system will look for the for that particular file. Okay, so that's why in direct access you need to provide the operating system with what you are looking for. You are looking for file abc.exe, so the operating system will look for that particular file. Okay, next we go on into an example of what we say as the Windows file structure or directory structure. In Windows operating system, the file structure is something like this. You have your C drive, which is the primary partition. inside the primary partition, it is normally divided into 3 subdirectories, or we say folders. We have the Windows folder, we have the program files, and document and setting. Okay, the Windows folder will keep all the information about the Windows operating system, which is normally located inside a folder called System32. Right? However, for the document and setting, the document files will hold information or will hold folders about the users of the PC. Okay, the users of the operating system. Let me see whether I have users. Okay, let me just concentrate on this diagram here. So this diagram is an operating system called Windows, and it has 2 users. Okay, 2 users actually. So inside your file system, you can also have 2 or more users using the same PC. So when you have 2 or more users using the PC, meaning you can have multiple users. So bila you ada multiple users, okay, each user will have its own document folder and its own file. That's why user has their own My Document and has a desktop. Let's say you color the desktop green, so only you can see green. Let's say after that you log out, I log in, I will see a different desktop theme because my one is different. Okay. However, if you look at here, there's also a folder which is called the All User. The All User folder here will keep all of this inside here. So when you click on the All User folder, you are able to see all the users which is connected to this PC and what is their desktop theme and what is their documents all in one folder. Okay, so this is the directory structure of a typical Windows operating system. Okay, so it is different from a normal Unix operating system. In Windows, it is normally in this position. You have C, you have Windows, program files, document and setting, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is all similar. And the System32 file folder, it is located inside the Windows folder. And the Windows folder is inside drive C, which is the primary location of the operating system. Okay, so what information can you get in a directory? Okay, in a directory, you can get the name, type, address, all of this information. What is a directory? A directory is something like a folder, and these are the information which are available inside the directory. So what can you do in a directory? You can list the directory, you can search for a file, you can create a file, you can delete a file, you can rename a file, you can transfer a file. Okay, transfer a file meaning you open file Windows Explorer and you are able to see all the files in one screen. You book up Windows Explorer, you are able to see all of the files in one screen. Okay, if you click on your PC or your C drive, you open, let's say you open My Document or you open C drive, you are able to see all the folders at one go. So that is what it means by you traverse the file system. At one go, you are able to see all the files available. Okay. And also, operating system is much more efficient. You get to locate a file. Okay, and you also provide naming. Okay, why do you have names? It's convenient for user. User has a name. You don't have a special ID. 2 users can have the same name for different files. 2 users can have the same name for different files. Let's say I have a Word document called testing.doc, and you also have the same thing. So 2 users can have the same file name in one PC because we are 2 different users. And you also have grouping. File system has grouping. You group it by your properties. Video in one folder, music in one folder, downloaded file in all in one folder. Okay. Right. I think we should stop here for today because I have something to do, and this section takes a bit more detailed explanation. So we will stop here. How to organize a directory? Okay. Are you okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. Do you have any questions to ask me about file system? So what you need to understand is basically you need to understand what is a file system. Okay. You need to understand the definition of file system. You need to understand about the file system attributes. You need to understand about the types of file system. Okay. What types of files are there? And you need to understand about how to access a file. You either use the sequential method or the random access method. So these are what you should be able to understand by now. Okay. So what is important? File system, the attributes, the type of files, and what can the file do. Okay. You can create a file, you can delete a file, you can append the file, so many other things. You can refer to what you understand. Okay. So we will stop here, and in the next class we will continue back on what we left off. Okay. So I think we stopped at slide number 2021. Okay, 21. So we will continue back in our slide in the next class because I have something to do urgently. But before that, do you have any questions to ask me?
No, sir.
No, sir. Why is it always no, sir? Setakat ini faham. Ya, ada, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
contoh lah kan. Kan tadi saya cakap pasal file tu dia akan ada dia punya jenis file dia kan. Kalau kita tekan Microsoft sebagainya akan keluar semua folder-folder kita lah kan. File-file kita semua. Dia konsep dia sama juga kalau kita main game tu. Kalau kita tekan game tu tapi tak tunjuk lah file-file dalam game tu. Itu macam mana?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Dalam game pun you have folders, you have files, but some files you can see, some files you can't see. So the files that you can see are all based on user file. The files that you can't see are what we say is metadata. So this information is about the file system, but it's only applicable to the operating system. Untuk sistem tu je. Users don't need to see that file.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay. So thank you very much. I will upload this recording on my YouTube channel, so you can view it as well. And we will continue back, inshallah, this Thursday. Okay. Attendance dekat future. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.